One who reacts without thinking can have another person just be dead and stinking, blinking as thought travel fast, telling us to ignore the Constitution's past. My lyrics outlast liars' lies and the confusion that they supply, trying to make you say don't try or even take a question and say why, ask why. See, they try to multiply because they want their money just to be on high. See, they got the voodoo, and that's what they're trying to see right through you. So watch your chips on your computer. They will just flip, steal you, clone you, then they just own you. Heaven can't wait, but only God knows me. Heaven can't wait, but only God knows me. Heaven can't wait, but only God knows. Ooh, ooh! What's up, everybody? It's Eric Taylor, bigeastrology, episode 128, Knowledge is Love. We got a big one. I have my amazing guest here, Miss Sara Ashley, who is a professional astrologer and so much more, and we're going to learn. And we are here today to talk about the Total Solar Hybrid Eclipse in Aries, the new moon at 29 degrees. This is big.
It's huge.
It's
the
huge.
biggest. It's the biggest, 29 degrees. I mean, that's extra strength.
Well, welcome, my friend. I am so glad you're here to join me. And I am so excited to introduce you to my audience and to actually officially meet you in person.
Yes.
Although I feel like I know you because I watched you on IG, so, you know, whatever. But I want to start off, I want to jump into the meat and then we'll get back to you, right?
Yeah.
This solar eclipse for us on the West Coast, it's the 19th at 9:12 p.m. tonight. Okay, it's a Scorpio rising, so the sun and moon are in the sixth house, you guys. And whoa, because you know it's sort of out of sign conjunction. The Taurus North node's at 4 degrees, and Vesta, I forgot, I think it's 0 or 1. I'm not sure if you remember.
Yeah.
But it's right there. You know, obviously we still have Jupiter and Chiron in Aries. So it's in the sixth house of work, daily routine, health, hygiene, service, small pets. Animals could act crazy. You know, conflicts, divorce.
Yeah.
All this stuff. So when you think about this eclipse, and I heard, and this is kind of wild, I don't know if you read this or know this, only 3% of eclipses in the 21st century are hybrid solar eclipses.
I didn't know that.
That's really wild, right?
You're telling me something I didn't know. I love it.
There you go, right? That's what happens when you come to Knowledge is Love.
That's right.
But at the 29th degree, what are your initial thoughts and feelings? Because, you know, normally people want to manifest at a new moon, but you're not supposed to do that on an eclipse. So what insight and advice and feelings do you initially jump to with this alignment and this eclipse?
Yeah. So as soon as I heard we were having a second Aries new moon and it was going to be an eclipse at 29, I was like, oh my gosh, like so powerful, especially with the North node, you know, merging into Aries in July. So this is like a sneak preview of what we're going to have for the next 18 months right here and now. Because don't forget, guys, that, you know, the nodes always go backwards. They're always in retrograde motion. So what are we going to get first? We're going to get Aries at 29 degrees in July for the North node. So I feel like the collective is having this sneak preview, right, of what it's going to be like. And Aries is all about Mars energy. So it's like a lot of us are stepping into our warrior energy right now. And it's time to get comfortable with our Martian energy. I love how it's called Martian, right? Because it is alien to a lot of us to be in warrior, to actually be in our fury, in our anger, in our desire, because so much of the cultural programming for I don't know how many years, as long as we've been alive, right? Probably since Pluto and Leo after World War II, right?
Yep.
The culture is be nice, step back, don't say anything, be meek. And it's like, no, not anymore. Especially just as Pluto went into Aquarius, this is the time to step up and be a warrior and speak your truth. So I'm so happy that it's at 29 degrees Aries of all signs, squaring Pluto. I know it's a 1 degree difference, right? Because, when the sun and the moon go into Taurus, it will be a different story.
Right.
Very, very, very quick.
No, you're right. And what's so fascinating that I think that people underestimate with Aries, right? I love the sextile to Aquarius as well, because Aquarius is fixed air, the water bearer pouring the knowledge, right, that it gained from Sagittarius. And it's the adult genius, the man of the chart. Where Aries is that child genius, initiating assertive, aggressive energy, sort of like from ages 3 to 7. And remember, the thing about Aries, you guys, we forget, it's the pioneer maverick energy.
Yes.
Right? Being the independent leader of your life.
Yes.
And that's why it's in the 6th house at the analytic degree of 29 degrees. We have got to walk into our inner authority, right? And remember, energy is also just coming off of what? April 11th, the Sun-Jupiter conjunction. We have to understand we're built for this. We signed up to be born during this time. I always tell my clients, right? All this chaos that we went through the last couple of years, I know it's been a lot. I know we've been going through so much. But guess what? You signed up for this. So you're built for it. So we have to, at this time, I really feel, Sarah, it's so strong to tap in, like you were saying, to our inner authority. And you guys, eclipses are so karmic, right? The ancients used to always say, like, oh my God, there's going to be an overthrow of government, or a king will die during eclipses, because they're pretty intense. Well, one thing that I think that we all need to take charge of our lives is too, remember, it's the 6th house, our health.
Yes. Definitely.
Go exercise. Even if you just go for a walk 30 minutes a day,
you
need to do it. Get off your butt. Remember the ram, boom, it's moving.
Our bodies need to move. Absolutely. Because that's fire. It's cardinal fire. You have to move your body. And that's how you get to know what you want too. Because I always tell my clients, if you're sitting in stagnation all the time, right? You can't make up your mind, or you're just sitting all the time, you're not moving. What happens to still waters? They spoil and can make you sick. So your body needs to move, absolutely. And I feel like a lot of people, my clients, I felt it. I started feeling it last night. I started getting these aches and pains. I started getting a headache. It's part of ascension symptoms too, right?
Those solar flares, right? It's so intense lately, spiritually, for all of us.
Crazy, yes. And especially since, we have all these outer planets now moving into different signs. Neptune's in its last degrees too. So we're moving into a whole entire new era, and our bodies are preparing for it too. So we need to start getting more in tune with our own health too, and taking charge of that, and not just letting other people push us around, or I don't want to get too political on here. Other
entities.
I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube, but because a lot of YouTube, it's all sponsored by.
No. You know what's so funny on YouTube, Sarah? Just so you know, I kind of keep it PG-13 and keep it coded.
Same here. But all those companies, right, that sponsor all the commercials and are involved with everything that, big pharma, big agri, they're all combined. And I was just talking to my friend about this on the phone right before I got on the call with you, that we really need to start taking care of our own health and taking charge of our own health. That might mean creating our own small farms or gardens or co-ops and that kind of thing.
Okay. You just said the key word. We're going to get everybody hello in the chat. We're going to get to you in a minute. We're going to get to you in a second. Trust me. But what you just said, so key. Because with this chart, you guys, remember I told you the Scorpio rising, or all this Aries energy in the 6th house. We're going to skip over the 7th house of Taurus. But who's in the 8th house? Venus in Gemini. And Venus is what? Not just the throat chakra. It's our food, right? Pleasure, beauty, food. The 8th house, anything hidden underground, not just the occult knowledge and secret societies, but the ancient oils to take better care of yourself. doTERRA, plant medicine, eating the right herbs, get your ashwagandha, your spirulina, your sea moss, right?
You got it.
That's Venus in Gemini. And Gemini, what? ideas, social action, communicating hand to hand. Remember a couple of years ago when we had the North Node in Gemini? It was setting us up for this time because we need to have the local farms and exchanging. Wait, I tell people all the time, right? If you have kale and I have blueberries and we trade, then we both got fruits and vegetables and we're good.
Exactly. It's totally cool. Right. I can have a salad and I can also have my berries in the morning.
Yes.
But
Well,
exactly.
it's awesome. So let's go to the chat. Let's why don't you take some questions or see what people are saying?
Yeah.
And
so Sabali, Pure Face and Body says, hello. My ears perked up when you said communal gardens, and a lot of people are saying hello to us. Hey guys, nice to see you. And Monica says, that's why I find myself pulling to improvement of health, Gemini rising here. Yes, definitely. And I think, that's very age of Aquarius too, with this Pluto and Aquarius right now, is coming together in these small little tribes and the bartering and trading that we're going to have. And yes, and she says, I joke with everyone that I will make body care products on the commune. I mean, of course. And that's something else that a project of mine that I'm working on right now too is organic skincare with a little twist. And I'll talk about that maybe in a future show when I'm ready. But
no, that sounds awesome. Well, then let me tell you, Sarah, you would get along with my wife.
I love to meet her.
Quiet as cat. She's Sabale, Pure Face and Body. So my wife makes organic and vegan body and skincare, and her products and everything, it's compostable.
That's amazing.
Yes, she's very intentional about that. So I'll have to connect you two after the show because oh my God, it's amazing. So honey, so we'll get back to the chat in a second. So I always like to, talk to my guests, share some of their, placements and stuff like that. But I want to ask you, because I'm so fascinated, two things, right? One, how your story in terms of how you fell in love with astrology and then became a professional. But then I want you to kind of lead us to, because I'm so fascinated by, you do the Akashic Records readings, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so give us that story and then give us to the Akashic, because I'm fascinated by that.
Sure. So my foray into astrology started when I was very, very young. So when I was about 7 years old, my mom gave me this birthday book. I'm a Capricorn. It said January 17th. And it's like, here's all the famous people who are born on January 17th. Muhammad Ali, Betty White, like all these, amazing people. James Earl Jones. I'm like, oh, cool. There's some badasses born on my birthday. Steve Harvey's also born on my birthday, but he wasn't famous when I was 7. I'm a little bit older than you guys think. So it's like, this is cool. And then it explained what Capricorn was. I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. I want to learn more. It's like in first grade, I was like, this is so cool. I can identify with this. Wow. And I think it's because I never felt like I fit in with my family. Even though I loved them and I wanted to fit in with them, I felt like I was the weirdo in the group and I just couldn't follow the rules. And that's probably because my Lilith is in Aquarius, so I can never follow anybody's rules for long.
Well, you know what it is? You just got to find your Lilith tribe, right? And that's astrology, esoteric knowledge, people.
That's right. Exactly. So I started learning about it real quick. I got more and more books. I studied it. And then, oh my gosh, he's a Cancer Sun, Capricorn Moon. And that's interesting. Yes. Well, I'm a Cancer Moon. I'm like, in Cancer.
Moon in the 7th house.
Sun, so it makes sense. We're switcheroo there. Anyways, but so I started studying it. And then in high school, I was giving people little chart readings. But of course, I was only using the inner planets because I didn't really know what I was doing. And then I kept on studying and experimenting. And then I took some time off because once I was a high school teacher for 13 years. And believe it or not, the public schools are very closed-minded. They don't.
Oh my God, we didn't talk about this.
Okay.
I was a teacher too.
No way. What did you teach?
Well, I taught for 13 years total, but 10 of the years I taught in the Bronx with multiply severely disabled children, ages 3 to 21.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. I was a special education teacher as well.
Oh,
it's crazy. I love
can't believe we didn't talk about it. That's insane. Oh my God.
Yeah, synchronicities. All
yes.
That. I love it. I love that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I work with kids who usually had emotional issues, learning disabilities, that kind of thing.
And did you just love them to death?
I love so many of them. And unfortunately, a lot of them have passed because you know, they have like sicknesses, like, you know, genetic disorders.
Especially the ones with the Down syndrome, they have shorter lives. I know.
It's so sad. So it was a heartbreaking job.
It
And
was, yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of trauma, just secondary trauma and primary trauma working with special needs students. So,
Yes.
but anyways, I digress. So there wasn't a lot of, you know, freedom of thought there. So I kind of like hid my gifts for a while. And then the pandemic happened. And I was looking for the reason why. And I started listening to Steve Judd. I don't know if you're aware of who he is.
Steve Judd, no, okay.
He is an English astrologer. He's an older gentleman. He's probably like, I'm thinking he could be like Pluto and Cancer generation.
Oh, yes, with the gray beard and goatee. I've seen him before. Yes.
Yeah.
I love him. He's great.
Yeah. So he like reactivated me. You know, he doesn't know he reactivated me, but he did. And like, okay, I got to start studying it. And then all of a sudden, all the knowledge started being poured into me, but everything started making sense. So I was just on a tear doing charts over and over, you know, just doing it for friends. And then my best friend of over 20 years, I gave her a chart reading for her and her husband for their wedding, their synastry and their composite. And she's like, maybe you should do this for a living, just like as a side hustle. I was like, I guess I could. And then I created an Instagram account, and the rest is history.
Wow. I love it. And I love hearing these stories about people because, you know, and we talked about this, but astrology, it's like a calling, like it calls you. And it's like, you know, and we both have different placements that, you know, can show that we probably did it in a past life. And that's what's so fascinating because like you said, and for me, it was the same experience. It was just really intuitive. And I was just like, I just got it. And I realize sometimes when I'm talking to other people about it or teaching it, you forget that it is literally another language and people don't get it the way you may get it.
No, because
and so then you have to learn how to like verbally like bring it down a notch and be like, okay, these are the elements, these are the signs, these are the modalities. And go real slow. So but that's awesome. And I love hearing that. Do you guys have any particular questions about this eclipse? And
let
what
us
we
know.
should do for it and stuff? Let's see what they're saying in the chat.
Yeah, because a lot of them are saying that they were teachers or they worked in the autism classroom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? So a lot of synchronicities here.
I love that, you guys. And what's so deep about that too, Sara? And because you guys, we literally didn't plan this. Like we just admitted right now, we didn't even exchange the fact that we both taught special needs kids and were teachers. But what's also fascinating, this eclipse, you guys, with the Scorpio rising, it's all in the 6th house. And the 6th house is what? Service.
Exactly.
The duty and service that we perform for others and its coworkers, your bosses, all that. So one thing I think about, you know, with this Aries sun that people forget, it's also calling us in this time to be truthful and authentic with ourselves. That's the Pluto in Aquarius currency. I always tell people, if you're already doing this, then you're ready for the next 20 years, 24 to 44.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The currency is speak the truth and just authentically be you.
Authentic.
You're silly and you get nervous and you giggle when you get on YouTube. So what? That's you.
It's
if
fine.
You do this, you do that. Like just be you. That's what the people want.
Exactly.
And
I feel like that's how we stepped into the roles that we're in, even though being teachers is part of what we do. I know you teach your own classes. I teach my own astrology classes too.
Yeah.
And you know, it's part of who we are is we're teachers, but the other part of who we are, we're in love with astrology and we're being authentic about it. So guys, like do what you love and what makes you happy. And it doesn't have to please everybody. You're going to find an audience, even if it's a tiny little audience, it's going to be the audience that needs you. And that's the service right there. That's a service to humanity because, you know, Eric and I don't get paid to make videos every day, right? Like we don't, but it's part of our service to humanity to help us. And people are asking, so what do we need to prepare for the eclipse and how will it affect us? So how do you need to prepare? Just like what we're saying, just know that a lot of people might be a little extra right now because this is
Yeah.
Aries.
Yeah.
So especially 29, and
Yeah.
it's squaring Pluto.
Can be a
So
little
there might,
hectic. Yeah.
yeah, there might be some more disputes. I feel like there's some endings and some relationships, but there's gonna be beautiful new beginnings because what I'm seeing is a lot of new opportunities coming in,
Yes.
especially in the precipice of Taurus season. Even though this Mercury's retrograde in Taurus, this is the precipice of a lot of new abundance, new energies for people. And I think a lot of us are being pushed out, like literally pushed out of situations that no longer are in
Serve us.
alignment with us. They
Yeah.
don't serve us. So somebody in the chat said down there, I think they got laid off or something.
That's
And
okay.
it's okay because it's a blessing to you to find something that's more in alignment with you and that's going to bring you inspiration every day.
Yeah. To be, and to, you guys, to be your authentic selves. And remember, this is in opposition to Libra. And right now, you also, it's very close with Libra having Spica, right? And
Mhm.
it's a very harmonious, beautiful fixed star that's like a mixture of Mercury and Venus. And
Mhm.
what Sara said is so true. So we are so sorry that you lost your job, and sending
Yeah.
healing energy and prayers for you financially. But what have you really always wanted to do and be?
Mhm.
Who are you? Right. So at this time, remember I was saying with new moons, people normally like to manifest. Well, during the solar eclipse, and especially this one at the 29th degree, no, you're not manifesting. Let it play out. And like Sara was saying, things can be a little hectic out there in the world. So mind your business and go within. Aries energy is normally not introspective, but this is a time. Do some journaling. Go
Yeah.
within, but find your inner authority. Be assertive. Have a plan.
Yeah.
Figure out your new direction. And then remember, Jupiter's here too.
Mhm.
Go for it. Be the motivational person and motivate yourself. Be self-motivated. I woke up with a ton of energy this morning though, too.
Yeah.
Even though I had headaches and like all the stuff you were saying. And I said to my son, my 13-year-old, I was like, I'm a little tired, but I feel like so alive today.
Yes.
You
It
know what I
feels so
mean? Like I
happy.
feel and oh, you guys, keywords too that we totally forgot. Brave and courageous. Be
Yes.
brave and courageous.
Mhm.
That's what this new moon and this solar eclipse is calling us to do and to be. And remember, you know what? As Sara said, so Mercury retrograde starts on the 21st in Taurus, right? To what is it? To May 11th, I believe, Sara? Something.
Yes, May 11th.
May
And
11th.
of course, we have the stupid shadow for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're in the shadow. Yeah. But what's coming May 17th, you guys, in Taurus? Jupiter in Taurus for the next year.
Thank God.
Blessings are coming your way. You'll see a boost in the financial systems and stock market, even though the American dollar is going to holy high water hell.
Yeah.
But Jupiter in Taurus is going to bring you some financial abundance, fortune, and luck and blessings. So get ready for that. Be excited. But you have to manifest it and speak it.
Yes,
You have to
speak it
claim
into
it.
reality. And also every day do a little something to manifest that reality on a daily basis. And of course, how can you ground this energy? You can
Yeah.
ground it by simply going outside, going for a walk, just like Eric was saying. Also, talking to a friend, having a conversation about what your next moves are, because I feel like all of us are moving into a new direction, a better direction. This is all about the new and improved you. And I'll show you guys something that I channeled. I'm going to show you guys this a
Cool.
couple weeks ago. And actually, it was a month ago at the first new moon in Aries. I wrote this down. It was channel. Look at this. It says, I don't know if you can see it. It says, I am the main character. So this is all about us being the main
Yeah.
character and really like writing that plan down or even creating like a vision board, what
I
that
love
would
that.
look like. What does that look like for you in your life?
And that's fitting, right? Because that new moon was what? That was that 0 degree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That new beginning and the main character. And Aries is the I am. Remember, the sun, you guys, is exalted in Aries. So this is, this is what you guys need to look forward to and to be honestly brave and courageous. You got this. And listen, don't fear Mercury in retrograde.
No.
I always use it, Sara, as a time for reanalyzing, reassessing, and introspection. So if you're normally not an introspective person, that's fine. Well, use the Mercury and Taurus period, right, to kind of just pause, slow down. And like Sara was saying, Taurus is the first earth sign, you guys, fixed earth. That's why the moon is exalted in Taurus. So ground. And I know this sounds corny, and trust me, as like a New Yorker and as a, an actor, a writer, MC, I never thought I would admit to this, Sara, and say it out loud. Go freaking hug a tree.
Yes,
I swear you won't regret it. It's the best thing ever.
It is. It is.
It is, right?
Yeah, it feels so good. It's just nature. We all need it. And sometimes we don't even know it. The other thing about this Mercury retrograde in Taurus, this is a great time for us to reassess our finances. So it's like, what are you spending money on? Maybe you can go through like all your subscriptions. Like, do I need that? Do I really need that app? Do I need this? Do I need to buy Starbucks every morning? Maybe I can make my own coffee.
It's not even real coffee.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Starbucks, no bueno. Anyways. Support your local cafes. Support your local cafes, guys. But like that kind of thing, like what can you do to reassess? Like maybe if you have some credit card debt, maybe you could roll it into like a different credit card or a loan, invest in your retirement, those kind of things. Reassess your financial portfolio, especially after this tax season, which was a shit show. So,
but also the minerals, the jewelry, the gems, the crystals, have them, use them. And it may be a good time to invest in gold and silver. But Sara, we must say we're not financial advisors.
That's right.
We're just giving you positive, healing, optimistic energy, okay? And ideas, right? Gemini, Venus, social ideas. But that is so key. And you're right. I think it is important for us to analyze and assess, and not just Taurus is the money and material items, you guys, what we save and spend. But guess what? It's also your values and self-worth. It is time this spring, as we're entering Taurus season with all this energy that's very karmic and fated, please practice self-love. And Sara, I always say this to my clients, but I'm going to say it here for the collective. If you got nothing else from Sara and I today on this episode, and I know you're going to get a lot, please, you guys, retire from negative self-talk immediately and speak positively about yourself. Those I am statements, those positive affirmations, they are so needed every day, but especially with this eclipse and Pluto in Aquarius in the next 20 years. You have to do it. You got to love yourself.
Exactly. And get really comfortable with speaking up for yourself, because when we don't speak up for ourselves, people just assume whatever they want to assume, and then we go along with whatever other people want to go along with. So
preach.
So definitely start speaking up, and then don't worry about it if somebody asserts themselves with you too, because there's a lot of that now where people are saying, you know what, that bothered me. And it's okay if something bothers somebody. We're not perfect, and just accept responsibility when you're responsible.
No, I love that. I love that. All right, Sara, let's go see what's happening in the chat. I see it's getting busy. I love it. How you guys?
So Steven says, I do feel more brave and courageous. I don't really feel bad about losing my job. Jupiter has been my ruling planet and it's been helping. Well, that's
great. Steven. Okay.
Yeah, and he's the Jupiterian. So
yes, he is.
Positive. Must have a lot of Sag in his chart.
He's a Sag rising Pisces sun.
Yeah, I love that.
Steven's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Hope says she owed a lot of she owed this year for taxes, blah. Yeah, I think that's for another show, what I think's gonna happen with that.
I'll have to have you back on again. We'll get into we'll get a little dirty and grimy.
I know. Yeah. This time we're being PG-13. Next time we might get kicked off of YouTube and all the platforms.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see what happens. Let's see. Kimberly says, yes, self-love is so important. We have a few North Node and Aries people. So that means you guys are either going to be 36, 37, or you're going to be in your mid 50s. Yeah. So if you're having your nodal return, I doubt anybody here is 18.
This is coming up in July, you guys, for the next 18 months. And it's a very, wow, I get excited. I'm actually, Sara, teaching. I have a monthly astrology meeting called Astrological Coffee Talk with Eric. And it's this Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, April 22nd. And, I'm going to be talking and teaching, looking at the chart of this nodal return in Aries and South Node in Libra. So what this solar eclipse is kind of preparing us for, as Sarah mentioned earlier, is this nodal shift. And I think relationships and even business partnerships that no longer serve us, they will, what's the South Node K2 do? It cuts, it separates, it divides. You'll feel the pull to move away from things that don't serve you. And guess what, you guys? That's okay. Go into your Aries North Node of being the independent leader. It's straight up boss energy.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's all it is.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's just, it feels better when you're leading. And of course, there's times of collaboration, but there's also times where you always have to lead your own life, period. And a story. And I do feel like there's a lot of breakups and shakeups and shifts right now, more than ever. I feel like it's been like that ever since that we had that eclipse in Scorpio in October. And ever since then, I feel like it was almost as if like we put everything in the blender and put it on the highest setting possible.
Well, wait, let me tell you, Sarah, okay, as a Scorpio rising, okay, and my wife's a Taurus rising, this like eclipse and plus Uranus and Taurus until 2025, whoa, I've been purging and detoxing. Like, I'm surprised I don't even weigh. I could be like 80 pounds right now. Like, I have purged and detoxed.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of it.
I know.
Wait for this nodal shift. All the fixed signs, you guys, will get a reprieve, and then the cardinal signs will get to dance for a little while. Because if you've been, or if you are a sun, moon rising in Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, it's been challenging. But then now we've got Pluto in Aquarius for the next 20 years. So that will affect the fixed signs as well.
Yeah.
So
especially Leo risings or Aquarius
risings. Ooh,
yeah.
goodness.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Major transformations. But you know what? I always tell my clients with the Pluto, Sarah, you have to be willing to transmute and purge and detox. Pluto's really dealing with the soul psychology, and we have to heal from those childhood pains, traumas, and crises.
Absolutely.
And Pluto is really to bring us to, our higher and greater good.
Absolutely. As a Capricorn rising, Capricorn sun, and Capricorn Mercury, all up in the first house there. I mean, I could tell you that 2008 till
You've been through it.
Seconds ago, I went through it. And then my son's at 26. So for those of you who know what Pluto has been doing, it's been going back to 26. I'm like,
no, I could. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You could probably write a book about that, and you should, because I know Cap risings have been going through it. I even have 2 kids with Cap risings, so I'm sure that I'll see a shift in them. But this is what's fascinating. This little sneak preview is only to June 11th. I'm telling you guys now, from June 11th to January 20th, at 29th degree, Pluto Capricorn, wow, structures and systems, Me Too movements, things falling. It's going to be a hot summer.
Oh, yes. The patriarchy is about to be imploded. This is what I saw. Guys. And I'll get to the comments in a second.
Yep.
I saw like somebody pulling the TNT lever and just explosion. And that's metaphorical. We're not talking about like a physical terrorist attack. That's a metaphor. Because what Eric's seeing with all these structures falling is because Capricorn represents institutions and government. Exactly. And part of that is like my mission right now is all about feminine empowerment. Okay. And men are great. This guy over here, I hope I'm pointing in the right direction. He's amazing. But unfortunately, there's some men in our collective who have been leaders who take advantage of the feminine.
The patriarchal system. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, we're done with that. We're done with that bullshit. We're done.
Well, and you guys, and that's also the important to get into your gut instinct root chakra, the true Black Moon Lilith. Because that Lilith energy, right? It is the pheromones, the hormones, the gut instinct, the intuition, connection to God source energy. But it is the divine feminine. It's awakening. It's woke.
It is woke. It's all the way woken up right now. Sherry says, thank you always for bringing amazing guests and information, Eric. We're both invaluable to the whole collective. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Monica says, my husband is a Leo rising. I wonder what is transforming, for he still doesn't believe in astrology. Well, he's about to.
He's about to.
Yeah, he's about to find out.
Well, if he's a Leo rising, it's going to affect his 7th house, the other half, which is you. Is you. So you're going to both feel it and see it. Oh my God. But you know what? I tell people too, Sarah, that this is fascinating. That people, a lot of folks don't realize this, but you guys, please do not plan August weddings this summer. Venus in Leo will be in retrograde. And I think it's July 25th to September 5th. Something, it's a long time.
It's as soon as I think the sun hits Leo.
Yes, yeah, July 25th.
It's like the same day. I'm like, oh, this is not.
I know. So it's like, no, please, because when you can start to date, but you do not want to get married. Venus is in retrograde. I hate to say, and I don't wish bad about anybody, but I do want to give that loving insight and advice. It will not last, you guys. So August weddings this year, tell your friends, no. July early, June, or wait till like late September, October. Get out of the shadow period. You got to really wait till October. But August weddings, oh my gosh, I just pray, please, you guys, do not get married in August. Advise your friends and families, and hopefully it's not too late.
Eric is saying, don't buy anything on the registry until the last minute. That's what he's saying. Make sure you have a receipt and a gift receipt, and you don't give it to them yet. That's what he's saying.
I know, and you know, Sarah and I are both married, so like I am such a supporter, and I cheer for couples and relationships and all that good stuff. So this advice, we both really mean it, you guys. Like, please, no August weddings. Yeah.
So.
Okay. Any other
careful? Sunny says Cap rising and understand. Nice part astrology, part life coaching sesh. Hello and blessings, folks. Yeah,
hey, Sunny, she's the best.
It's been an interesting 15 years, but we're getting out of it now. Unless you're 29 degrees Cap rising, then bless your heart. Bless your heart. Oh my gosh.
No, and that's the thing. I think that one experience, right, that you can really learn from in astrology is literally going back and looking at these outer planet cycles, especially Pluto, because like you mentioned, when Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008, it did have, the real estate crash and the stock market, bubble and all that crap happened. And it changed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's changed a lot. I feel like, it's so funny. I kind of said this joke with somebody the other day, but it's like, I feel like the world's gone to hell ever since like Twitter started in 2000.
It sounds like it's almost like that.
Yeah,
I remember in 2007. So from 2005 to 2007, I worked for Bank of America. It's funny. And I felt, this is before I was like 100% like sure of my intuitive gifts. Like, I gotta stop working here. That's what I was thinking. Like, and not just because I'm bored, but something's just telling me leave my job. And I went back and I got my my certification in teaching, because I already had my 4-year degree, but I never had my teaching certification. So I went at night. 2008 is when I got my teaching job, and I was like, thank God I wasn't working for Bank of America.
Oh yeah,
it would have been completely obliterated. But it's weird stuff.
Let's get back to talk to us about the Akashic Records.
Sure.
I think some of my audience may be interested in doing a reading with you about that.
Sure. So the Akashic Records, it's available to everybody, but some people are just more in tune than others. I do have a class that helps you tap into your third eye and also protect your third eye on my website. And I think Eric's going to put the link under here.
Yes, I put it down below, SaraAshley.com, right?
Yeah, Sara Ashley Astrology.
Sara Ashley Astrology.com.
That's okay.
And I have the link to there and her Instagram as well, you guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Anyways, so that course will help you because, we all have access. So Edgar Casey, he was a student of Carl Jung's who, worked with Freud. And he hypothesized that everybody has a link to what he calls the Akashic Library or Akashic Records, which is the all human memories for all times, it's all there because there's something called the collective consciousness, right?
Yes.
Think about like how sometimes a phrase goes like viral even before there was the internet, because I think most of us on here were around before the internet. It's like, how did that
Right.
happen? How do we all know to like that or try that out? It's because it's the collective consciousness. We're all linked together. We all
Tapped
have
in. Yeah.
infinity cords together, and we're all in these soul tribes, and we don't all see it. But I can see that. I can see a lot of that. And how I knew that is because I had this bizarre download about my own past lives. I'm not going to get into all of it,
Okay.
but
But give us the time. Like, when did this happen, and how did it make
sure,
you feel?
sure. It was about 5, 6 years ago,
Okay.
and I saw myself living in Ukraine. Okay, like
Oh,
from what, like way back when, like probably like 150, 200 years ago. And I know my grandfather's family is from those parts, but I really didn't understand what I was seeing. And I've never been to Ukraine.
right.
I've never left. I've been in Asia and I've been in North America. That's it. So I didn't know what I was seeing. So I told my grandfather, I said, did your father, did he own lumber yards? Because, he talks about like his war experience. My grandfather talks about that, but he never talks about really like his family dynamics or anything like that, because my grandfather's a Holocaust survivor. So he will talk about what he went through in the Holocaust, but he doesn't talk about the good parts of his life before
Wait,
that.
wait. Are we about to have another? Did we just become best friends? Are we about to have another synchronicity? Are you?
Go ahead,
Are you
tell me what happened.
Ashkenazi?
Yes. Are
I'm.
you?
Wait. I'm 15%.
No way.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
we're related. You
My
never
so
know.
my mother's grandfather, his name was Bertram Weiss. Yeah, and I'm 15% Ashkenazi. Yeah.
That's crazy. I love this. We're connected.
I
That's
know.
for sure. Soul fam for sure. I love it. Anyway, so I said, did your father ever own lumber yards? And he's like, yeah, he owned like 10,000 acres. I was like, oh my God. It was like, how? Because that was part of my memory.
Wow.
And it was like really, and so I told him what my memory was, but I didn't tell him that it was a memory. I just said, well, I just went through it, and he said, oh yeah, that happened, that happened, that happened. And I was just shocked,
Yeah.
shocked. So then I started tapping into other people's memories, and I started using my guides to go into the Hall of Akashic Records, and then it just happened.
Wow.
Mhm.
So let me ask you though. So when you do a reading, so let's
Yeah,
say Kimberly or Sunny come to you and you're doing a reading, do you have to know like their astrology too?
I
Or do
don't
you
want to.
just, huh?
I don't want to. I don't
Oh,
want
okay.
to.
Okay. So it's really just getting into a meditative state and tapping into your spirit guides, and then that like door kind of opens
What I
to,
do, yeah, what I do, so I go into a meditative trance-like state. They don't have to go into it. I don't hypnotize people. I don't do any of that.
okay.
I use my sound bowl. I discover that the sound, the frequency helps me connect to my
That
guides,
vibration,
the
right? Yeah.
angels. Yes, exactly. Because we're all on vibrational frequencies of different sounds. That's
Yeah.
why some songs will make you happier. Some of them will make you feel depressed. Music
Yes.
is everything, right? I mean, you know that. You're an MC. Music is
Yep.
life. So I tap in and I have my guides meet their guides there at their book or their file. Sometimes Spirit shows me is at like a file drawer. And if they have like a really huge one that like pops out all the way, I'm like, oh, this person's an old soul. Or if they don't have much in there, I'm like, oh, they're pretty new here. They're pretty new to this planet. So I have my guides, and their guides pick out 3 lifetimes that resonate with this now moment,
Okay.
the messages they need to hear in this now moment, because there's so many messages that can come through,
Right.
but there's messages that we need to hear now that's going to help us. It might help us with a
In this
prayer,
carnation, right?
and
Yeah.
right in this now incarnation, in this timeline that we're in. And I also ask the messages to come in for their highest good and the highest good of all, Because listen, some of those Akashic Records stuff could really fuck somebody up. Like
I
there's
bet.
things in there you don't want to know if it now. Like there's some people who are not ready for it. They're not prepared.
No,
So
no, I
their
could
guides will,
imagine. I could
yeah,
imagine. Yeah.
yeah. So their guides will only show me so much. And then of course at the end, like I protect them, like I send them protection and I seal the space off from any kind of like malefic energy because that could happen too.
Right.
And then they tell me like, oh my gosh, like this resonated, that resonated. How did you know that? I'm like, I don't know how I knew. It's just the angels told me and that's it. And
Yeah.
now you know and you feel better. And it helps them also unlock and heal a lot of their current life.
That's
It
so beautiful, Sarah. I love
thank
that. That's like,
you.
it's really, and that's fascinating, you guys, because, we have got such connections to our ancestors. This is like moon, fourth house, Saturn stuff.
Mhm.
And we have to learn because the patriarchal system has made us so detached from our lineage and our
Yeah.
tribe, and our soul family, and the divine feminine and sacred masculine, and all this stuff. But even with the astrology, and a lot of times, and I know you feel this, we're really just remembering.
Yes. Mhm.
We are remembering. I know I have connections to ancient Kemet or Alexandria or Babylonia, and I feel it. You know what I mean?
That
And,
resonates with you.
yeah, and this ancient wisdom. It's like, and even the first time I did like a human design reading, I was like, "Do you know your human design, Sarah? What are you?"
Yeah, I'm a 1-3 generator. What are you? Are you a 1-3 generator too?
Oh my God! Stop the presents. Are you for real?
I
Yes,
swear
I'm
to
a
God.
1-3 generator, Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, see, this is why I stopped when I saw you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is deep, you guys. I swear
Okay.
to the audience, I swear, Sarah and I have not talked about
No.
any of
We had
this.
like a quick 20-minute conversation though.
Barely, right?
Yeah.
It might have been 17 and 16 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, Sarah. Okay, so the teaching, the yeah, okay, well, that's deep. So yes, I'm a 1-3 generator. And when I found that out, the light bulb went on, and I was like, some of it I have already been doing. So for you guys to understand, Sarah and I are like the mad scientists
Yeah.
to like research stuff, experience it,
Mhm.
like test it, and then we share it and teach it to the collective. But then
Yeah.
we also have to, like, for example, if someone says to Sarah and I, "Hey, do you want to go to the movies Friday night?"
Mhm.
And our first response is like, "Yeah, sure, would love to."
Mhm.
But if Friday morning comes and something's like a little off, or we're
Yeah.
just feeling off, we have to honor that, use our throat chakra and let them know, hey, something came up. I'm not, whatever. You don't
Yeah.
lie, but you're honest. You
Yeah.
communicate and say,
Like I'm just not feeling
I'm
it.
not
We can go
feeling it, but
another
I'd
day.
love to connect with you another time,
Yeah.
and just be truthful and authentic with them.
Mhm.
But you have to honor that. And when you don't, and you wind up still going to that movie,
Feel like shit.
something it's not going to be good. Like something happens and you
Yeah.
don't, and it's not like something violent or crazy, but it could
No.
just like you don't feel it at all.
Mm-mm.
And
No.
so many times in my life, Sarah, I intuitively would do that
Me
and
too.
didn't even know why. I would
Same.
just,
Mhm.
because I'm a very friendly social person,
Yeah.
but
Same.
there is that side of me that is like the hermit mad investigator that I
Yeah.
have to be inside because I've got to research
Yeah.
and calculate and figure out.
That's your high. That's your
Yeah,
high, right?
that
That's your
is
high is
literally the
yeah.
1-3 generator like life, and I've been wow. I'm actually blown away right
Me
now.
too. Me too. We'll have to talk more another time. We'll have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do
yeah. No,
more
no,
for
that's awesome.
sure. You'll have
So
to come on my channel for sure.
yeah,
So
yeah. Oh God,
yeah,
yeah. I got to
yeah,
talk to your IG audience. Sarah's got a
yeah,
huge following on
yeah.
Instagram.
You gotta come on there. We'll do that maybe for the full moon.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I would love that. That
Yeah,
would be
let's do
awesome.
that. Let's
Yeah,
do
we'll
that.
definitely do that.
Hope is saying I'm very interested in Akashic Records. I've had a small reading done for mine before. Awesome. She wants to know what a 1-3 generator. I think we talked about that. You can get your human design for free. Like just Google it.
Yeah, but
And
I have a great human design reader who I've had on here a couple of times. Her name is
awesome.
Angela Rose, and she is so good, Sarah. Like I love her. She's
You'll
like,
have to connect us.
yeah, I will, because she's amazing and she's just got a pure heart and spirit. She's great. But you know what I wanted to mention, because we didn't really get into it, and then we'll wrap up and end the show. Sarah and I are like both super busy.
Yeah.
But the ruler of this solar eclipse is Mars, and Mars is in Cancer right now, you guys. Right, so it's in the 9th house of this chart for the Scorpio rising. Mars in Cancer at 13 degrees. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, so it's in its fall in Cancer. Not a death sentence, but I always like to joke and say it's like giving a mom a machete or a machine gun in the kitchen, right? She doesn't need that.
Yeah.
It's a sharp knife to cut her food, right? But so intense emotions. So this is why Sarah and I were both saying earlier, it's really a good time for the journaling, some introspection, and being, being motivated to be your true authentic self, because Mars in Cancer, that's a heavy energy and the emotions can get kind of intense, right? And you don't want to just like fly off the handle and like chop somebody's head off.
No.
So that energy is in place. So just be mindful of that, you guys, okay?
Yes, definitely.
Any thoughts on that you have, or?
Yeah, I mean,
agree,
there's Mars in Cancer. It could be overly protective too.
It is very protective of the family, and that's a good thing sometimes.
Overprotective sometimes too, and meddling. So like if you feel like you're being a meddler right now or fighting, especially when it's none of your business, then take a step back, because I do see a lot of that right now, like people fighting for things that are really have nothing to do with them. So it's like, is this involve me or is this about someone else's bag? And that's that whole like Aries Libra polarity access.
Polarity,
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So if someone wants to know how much are my readings, an Akashic Records reading is $111.
Oh, that's so reasonable, Sarah. That's great.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to make my prices accessible for everybody. Who reading could access me. So
I know we're both like that. You know what that is? That's our hearts as the 1-3 generator, and that like the teaching, the special needs, because it's like everyone, you guys should be able to tap into this wisdom and knowledge, because you know what? It literally makes the collective vibration raise and higher. And we need that spiritually right now more than ever. We have got to spiritually ascend. And the human design prophecy is in 2027, we're going to leave the solar plexus and go to the heart chakra. And right now, that's how we leave the 3D and ascend to the 5D, you guys. You have to vibrate from your heart with true love.
I love that.
Passion, gratitude, forgiveness. Rock, just rock with all that, and you're golden. Okay.
Perfect.
Sarah, this has been, oh my God, so amazing.
I know, so amazing. Thank you so much for having me on. We'll definitely have to keep in touch. And I'm going to have you on my Instagram in a couple weeks from now. We'll set it up. I'll message you in a couple days and we'll set it up. How does that sound?
That sounds so great. And I totally appreciate it. And I look forward to it. This has been fun. You guys, please reach out to Sara. Follow her on IG. Okay. And it's Sara Ashley _astrology. And the link is down below. Oh, please, everybody like this, share it. This is important information, right? And for you guys, right? West Coast, 9:12 p.m. tonight. East Coast, if you're up late, maybe you're watching some NBA playoffs like me. 12 a.m.
12. Oh my God.
12. Oh yeah, and that's in the numerology. Yeah, it's really deep, right? This whole thing. And then then you wake up on the basically the late night on the 20th, but really the 21st, and it's Taurus season, and then Mercury's in retrograde. So there's just a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
But nothing to stress. No. You guys are all built for this. And we just send you love and positive energy. And and hold on to your amethyst, your crystals. Just be blessed. And thank you again, my friend. This was so awesome. You guys, make sure you comment after the live. It helps build up the show on the algorithm. You know, I want everybody to know, like, Sara was here, and blah, 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 and just spread the love and good cheer and all the great information and insight. So thank you again, my friend. I look forward
to Eric.
with you soon.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day. Bye, you guys. And this was episode 128. Knowledge
Thanks
is
for
love.
having me on. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.